Database Security Management Assignment 2. In this video tutorial, we will show how Team TLKM have gained access into Server 1 and Server 4. Let's begin with the tools used. There are many tools available online. The following are just the few tools that enable us to gather information, web analysis and database testing. Some tools worked and some tools did not. At the end of this whole video, we will show what tools didn't work for us. Firstly, Nmap, a security scanner to discover hosts and services on a computer network. Next we have OWASP and Multigo, both similar to Nmap, a scanner but at web application levels. Next we have Burp Suite, a platform for performing security testing of web applications. And lastly SQL Map, an automatic SQL injection and database takeover tool. In this video, we will be using Kali Linux 2. At the start of every penetration test, you must first make sure you have the correct network configurations. Open the terminal to check which network the system is in. Knowing that Kali is in the 192.168.187.0 network, we will open another terminal and use Nmap to scan the network range from 1 to 254 to determine which IP address is up and open. As you can see from the results of Nmap, the IP of 192.168.187.128 host is up with port 80 and 1433 open. With the knowledge that port 80 belongs to HTTP port, there must be a web front attached to the IP. Let's first open the internet browser and see if we can access any website with that IP. Oh, we are given a login page at the first page. Let's try the basic SQL injection statement, or 1 equals 1. Wow! This web is definitely vulnerable. We are in a staff administration page. There is a search guest page. Let's go in and see if we can get any guest details. Using the same SQL statement, we are able to display the guest Alan Porter. Looking at the URL address bar, we know that this page uses the GET method. Opening another terminal, we will make use of a tool installed in Kali Linux, SQL Map. As mentioned earlier, SQL Map is an injection and database takeover tool. Enter SQL Map-U to set the target of the injection. In this case, we will use the search guest page that we just get Alan Porter details, ending with a method --dump to retrieve the tables in this database. And there, the SQL map returns us the tables currently in the database. You may scroll up and see the tables and its row and columns. But everything is logged into the SQL map folder in your system. Simply go to Browse, hold Ctrl and H to show hidden files in folder. Look for SQL map folder, then output, then find the server IP address, then dump. you will see two different folders, master and key. Both represent the database names. Look into key and you will see three different Excel files. Each Excel file represents different tables. Opening the first Excel, you will see the familiar name Alan Porter. Next we open the admin Excel. In this Excel we can see the administrator and other users' password. Let's try logging into the accounts in the web page. We have successfully retrieved all the user and password of the database. Let's open SQL map again, using the same command but instead of dump. Let's try --SQL-shell. This mode will enable an interactive shell. We can select data from tables here. Let's try with the staff login table that we know from the information gathered. And there we have the same result as our Excel sheets from the dump function. But the difference with SQL shell is you can enter SQL statement like how a database administrator would. Now we have access into the database and the power to extract every data in it. Let's see if we can use another function in SQL map to enter the operating system as a root account. Using the same method but instead of SQL shell, we enter --OS-shell. Wow! We are able to access OS through the SQL map too. Let's check which directory of the operating system we are in. We are in System 32 folder, which means we have successfully entered the server as a root account. Moving on to the next server, we will attempt Server 4. Since Server 4 is using the VM-Net 4 settings, please ensure your Kali Linux setting is set to the same network settings. Before we start any information gathering, let's ensure that Kali Linux is connected to the correct network of VM-Net 4. Using a different tool, we will begin by using ZenMap. ZenMap is the official Nmap security scanner with graphical user interface. Since we know that our Kali system falls in the 192.168.33.0 network, we will do the same as Server 1 and scan the range from 1 to 254. With a return of 4 IP addresses, we can firstly remove our own IP, which is ending with the 33.20, and the 38.1, which is commonly used as gateway. With that, it leaves us with 33.25 and 33.30. Taking a deeper look at the results, you will see 33.30 has a -0.10s latency. Let's do a simple ping on both IP address available, to ensure the IP address is valid. seems like only 33.25 is up and returning a ping response. Let's go back to ZenMap and do a full scan on that IP, to see which ports are open. Firstly, enter the IP and click on the Intense Scan. From the results, we can see port 80 and port 443 is open. For easier view, we can select the IP at the left panel and click on Ports, Hosts at the right panel. To ensure our information gathered are genuine, let's use Sparta, another security scanning tool. Sparta not only uses Nmap, it also makes use of Nikto. Although Sparta is convenient by enabling to scan the host just by adding a scope, the downside of Sparta is that it takes time for each scan. In this video we have speed up the process to reduce the waiting time of 40 minutes. We now have confirmed port 80 and 443, but yet there seems to be 2 extra port open for administrator login. Now let's head over to the web browser and take a look at what web does the IP hosts. Seems like there is a login page. Let's try and see if all1=1 works in this database. It works. We are logged in as tester account. Take a look at the address bar. This server works slightly different from server 1. Let's see if we can retrieve the get method from the view source. It seems like there is no form action in the page. Let's head back to the login page. Again, launch view source, and here we go. There is a processing user method. With this we know the web passes the login in a processing user page and the parameter passed over is user ID. Due to the time constraint we have, We will use SQL map to see if we can use the similar commands on server 1, on server 4 as well. Starting with --dump. We are able to retrieve the database name, project and the login table for admins. As mentioned in server 1 example, we may proceed to the SQL map folder to view the table data in Excel format. Moving on from here, let's try the SQL shell. It seems like server 1 and 4 have similar vulnerabilities. Let's do a select from the table. And we get the same result from dump. Moving on further, let's try the OS shell. Seems like in server 4, SQL map face a problem of obtaining access into the server on the operation system. Again, due to the time constraint, we will stop our test here, but stay tuned for the tools that did not work.